Hello, everybody. I'm David, and today I want to talk about 5 MCU heroes, Marvel Cinematic Universe superheroes, that could appear in a Spider-Man sequel. If you haven't heard, that's the rumor that's going around. I think Kevin Feige hinted in an interview that it is possible that we might see another Marvel superhero in the Homecoming sequel that is not called Iron Man. Why? Well, I'll get to that a little bit later. So I've taken out 5 heroes that I think might appear in a Homecoming sequel, which they are also, there's rumors hinting that it might be like Civil War 2. Not necessarily Civil War 2, but maybe a little bit of, a back and forth between Spider-Man and another hero. So these are the 5 heroes that I would like to see team up with Spider-Man or fight Spider-Man, either one. Maybe not like full out fighting, but like have a little rivalry at first and then obviously team up later. Probably similar to the teaming up with, well, we know he's not going to fight Iron Man, but he is teaming up with him definitely in this Homecoming film, which I'm really excited about because I'm hearing really good things about it. So let's get right to this. Number 1, I have AntMan. I'm going to get this one out of the way because Tom Holland, who's playing Peter Parker's Spider-Man, also said he would like to team up with Paul Rudd's Ant-Man, and that's a no-brainer. I mean, you gotta, the 2 bugs in the MCU, you gotta have them team up at one point and make a couple of jokes about, like, who's the first bug that's been in this MCU? Was it Ant-Man? Because according to Kevin Feige, or Tom Holland, the little boy that we see in Iron Man 2 that Tony Stark saves, in that crowd of people during the Stark Expo. Apparently that's confirmed now to be Peter Parker. So Peter Parker's been in this universe and we didn't even realize it. I love retconning, man. Retconning when it's possible. So yeah, Ant-Man I think is a easy superhero to put in there. And, Paul Rudd's a funny actor, so to see him bounce off against Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I think there's going to be some funny interactions there, really funny interactions. Next on my list, I have Doctor Strange. If you know the comics, in the Civil War comics, Spider-Man's identity is revealed, and Spider-Man needs a little help from Doctor Strange, and I thought to myself, well, if it's kind of like Civil War 2, I mean, yeah, there's no fighting between Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, but there is a little bit of help from Doctor Strange, and could that be what they mean? Like, maybe Spider-Man's identity is outed in Avengers 3 or 4, who knows, and maybe he asks Doctor Strange, hey, you know what, I need your help, man, can you help me out, like, hide my identity again? Something like that happens in the comics, I believe. And what they also said was that Kevin Feige's been kind of hinting that the next Spider-Man solo film will help Spider-Man go out into his own universe, his own cinematic universe, whatever that means. That is kind of a little bit of a confusing quote, but that's what he said, and so I'm trying to figure out what that means. So what if that means, like, maybe Doctor Strange sends him to another Venomverse? I don't know. I mean, they're saying right now that Venom is now not going to be in the MCU, and I don't know. He's in, he's out. They can't make up their minds what they want to do with Venom and if they want him into the MCU. So what does that mean for Spider-Man? I don't know. Maybe Doctor Strange sends him to that universe, and that means we can't have him in the MCU anymore? I don't know. It's too hard to think about right now. But I'm not going to put too much thought into that. But yeah, I would like to see Doctor Strange and Spider-Man team up also. I think that would be a pretty neat team up. Third on my list, I have the Hulk. That's right, the Hulk and Spider-Man have actually fought in the comics. Maybe not as much as Hulk and Wolverine, but I know Spider-Man has had some run-ins with the Hulk and has had to try to calm him down a little bit. So who says that can't happen? And I think out of all the characters in the MCU, it's being said that Avengers Infinity War and Avengers 4 will be closing the books on some of the characters' story arcs. I do think that will be Captain America and Iron Man for sure. I also think that will be Thor's storyline will be wrapped up in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers 4. But I think there's a possibility the Hulk could still continue. Out of the original Avengers, the core 6, I think, or the core 4 if you want to talk about the big ones that got their own films, not counting Black Widow or Hawkeye. I think Hulk is the one that's the most likely to continue on because just like Spider-Man, Hulk is an A-lister comic book character. Even though his movies didn't succeed the way Marvel probably wanted, Hulk is an A-lister superhero when it comes to Marvel comics, the comic books in general. So I could see Hulk sticking around after the Avengers films into Phase 4. Who knows? Next, I have Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson. It's been a while since we last seen Samuel Jackson in any of these Marvel Cinematic Universe films. The last time we saw him was in Avengers Age of Ultron. But even after that, there was one episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Season 1 that we saw him, and that was around the same time frame. So now it makes me wonder, okay, so, where's Nick Fury now, man? He hasn't been seen since 2015. He has to be somewhere out there, right? I think he's going to return for the Avengers movies. I think that's already been confirmed that Nick Fury will be returning, Samuel Jackson. And, in the cartoons, Nick Fury has kind of helped out Spider-Man in several occasions, even helping him, be more part of the team and looking after the mess that Spider-Man's has made. And if you are going to bring Nick Fury back, I think he would be a nice addition to Spider-Man. After all, S.H.I.E.L.D. has also played a role in Spider-Man's universe, whether it's in the comics or the animated stuff. I believe Spider-Man's parents were also S.H.I.E.L.D. agents in one point of the comics as well, and that's when Spider-Man found out that how his parents died, even though they kind of did that a little bit in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but they could always do it better in the new ones. Finally, I have Daredevil. I would like to see Daredevil in a Spider-Man movie. I think a lot of people would. Specifically since they share the same villain, the Kingpin. Kingpin is a villain of not just Daredevil, but Spider-Man as well. And who would not want to see a team up with both of those characters going after the Kingpin? Now, this one is probably the least likely to happen since Daredevil is on Netflix. But it is all part of Marvel. And, if Charlie Cox is available and Vincent D'Onofrio is also available, I say why not? Just do it. Do your first Netflix Marvel Cinematic Universe crossover, man. I think by that point, Phase 4 is the right point to start integrating the TV stuff into the movie stuff. I think it would be a smart move. The problem would be is trying to get it tonally right, because you got a very dark character on Netflix with Daredevil. They almost crossed the border with R-rated with him. And then you got Spider-Man, who's definitely going to be a light PG-13. So you're going to have to maybe lighten up Daredevil a little bit. Maybe not too much, but it would be cool to have a Batman-Superman type of relationship there. Well, Spider-Man can be the light-toned one who's cracking jokes, and maybe Daredevil's a little bit annoyed with him. I don't know, but I would like to see if they could try to make it work. I think we'd be okay to have that team up, and I think we'd give Marvel that leverage to, okay, if you guys need to lighten Daredevil up a little bit, don't have him cracking jokes, but if you need to lighten him up a bit by not going super dark and having him make Kingpin bleed or anything like that, don't make him be that violent then. That's fine. I think we'll be okay just to have that crossover happen. But still let him be badass. I think you can have a PG-13 badass Daredevil. We've seen characters in that situation before. So tell me what you guys think. Are there any superheroes from the Marvel Cinematic Universe you want to see team up with Spider-Man? I would love to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine team up with Spider-Man, but that ain't gonna happen. I mean, that is the Batman and Superman of the Marvel comics, is Wolverine and Spider-Man, in my opinion. They're the two most iconic in terms of popularity, but we're never gonna see any X-Men in this universe. So I'm ending this here, guys. Tell me what you think. Comment below. Like this video if you like the choices that I said, or you just like this video. Subscribe to my channel, and until next time, take care.